minimum wage will increase 25 cents each year. What this means for prices across the state.
And one senior takes her senior project back to the roaring 20s.
Relief pitcher Michael Clark was one of the 3 senior players who finished their last series as a Mustang.
Broadcasting from Swanson Studios, you're watching Mustang News.
Hello and welcome to Mustang News. I'm Kylie Smith.
And I'm Emmy Powers. Here are the top stories you need to know. California was one of 20 states to increase the starting salary of employees. Reporter Patrick Madden has more on how that could lead to a rise in prices.
Since January 1st of this year, minimum wage jumped from $10.50 an hour to $11. And for employers with more than 25 employees, that number's bumped up to $12. While higher pay might be good for the employee, it might pose a problem for the employer.
Like let's say at the beginning of the year when the wages do go up, a customer, you have to explain to like maybe a regular that knows the price of their beverage to be like, oh, it's 25, 50 cents difference, and just to have to explain that like since the minimum wage should go up, that their like latte might go up as well. But for the most part, people are pretty understanding for that.
Let's say we have minimum wage in this pile and the prices at a local restaurant in this pile. If minimum wage is raised by 25 cents, it's common to see prices at your local restaurant raised by roughly that same amount, according to an Associated Press article back in 2018. Senate Bill number 3, signed by Governor Jerry Brown back in 2016, boosts the minimum wage gradually. However, some people say the increase is still not enough to live comfortably on the Central Coast.
Ideally, it sounds like a great idea. A lot of people that live in SLO already have issues with paying for housing and rent, so it's interesting that it's like the idea of raising the minimum wage up to $15, but I've been able to see it over the past 4 years of living here. Like while minimum wage has gone up by that 25-cent increment every time, prices around here have also gone up.
There are multiple costs that come with living on the Central Coast, but is it really worth all that money? This has been Patrick Madden with Mustang News.
The current federal minimum wage has not changed since 2009 and currently sits at $7.25.
With summer vacation just 2 weeks away, students are gearing up for break. We asked around about what students are planning to do with their time.
Just work. I do Uber and Lyft part-time, so I'll probably just do that full-time for the summer.
So I'm heading back up to the Bay, and I'm going to be interning with Intuit, which makes TurboTax and then if you've heard of them. And so I'll be doing software engineering with them, which I'm really excited about.
So the plan is to graduate in a few weeks, I guess 3 weeks now, and I have a job lined up down in Pasadena, and I'm getting my master's right now in structural engineering.
Pretty much right after the end of school, I plan on driving up to Canada and spending 2 months road tripping. So, and then like visiting my friends up along the coast, so like Oregon and then Washington, Seattle, and all that.
So how's the weather looking this weekend?
It's felt kind of sunnier. Francisco, what can we expect?
Well, I'll tell you this, even though we are getting close to summertime where they live in ZZ, the summertime weather isn't anywhere nearby. How's the weather then? I'll tell you after the break.
Let me tell you about the toughest guy on earth. He has the crazy strength to lift the man that raised him up without even flinching. This guy, no, this warrior, will always be by his father's side, even if his dad will hardly remember. If this guy isn't the toughest guy on the planet, then I don't know who is. Caregiving is tougher than tough. Find the care guides you need at aarp.org/.
We scored? Yeah, we scored going to the playoffs. I can't believe I missed that. Every time I'm buzzed, I spend too much time on my phone. What? I should take your phone away. No. I'll call for a ride. Hey, why does my face look like that?
I'm playing with these new face filters.
Okay, you know what? Yep, that's mine. I'm gonna need that back. No. Kevin!
Bye-bye.
Hi. Hoping for a crisp breeze to help keep you alert. Oh, he took a sip of water too. That'll probably help. You were probably gonna turn down the radio too, so you could focus, right?
Probably okay isn't okay.
Right?
If you see a warning sign, stop and call a cab, a car, or a friend.
I think the water line is what really drove it home. I blew on him.
Welcome back. I'm Francisco Martinez here with your weather forecast for today. Today's weather forecast will see a very nice and cool 69 degrees to start it off, with 52 coming in later tonight. Your winds will be coming in, although we will see some gusts going up to 25 miles per hour, so be on the lookout for that. But weather today will be sunny. If we take a look at North County right here, we've got highs of 79, 78, 78 in Atascadero. We've got some mid to upper 70s, which is normally cooler for this time of year. And we've got the 69 that's aforementioned in San Luis Obispo. So some relatively cool temperatures for this time of year in the area. Moving down to the beaches, if you're interested in that, we've got mid 60s all the way lined up. 63 in Cayucas, 64 in Oceano, 66 in Pismo Beach. So if you're heading down to the beach this weekend, I will advise it may be a little chilly. So definitely bring a sweater out there if you're considering it, getting out those rays if there are any to begin with. And then if we go down to South County and a little beyond, we're going to see 70 in Arroyo Grande, which will be the high for the area, as we'll have 68s and 60s in the Pomo, Vandenberg, Guadalupe, all that stuff. If you're heading down to Santa Maria to get some really good Mexican food, then I highly advise maybe bringing a sweater for later tonight, as temps will drop to the mid-50s. And looking forward to that 5-day forecast with your weekend always in view. We've got 70, 71 going up, so temperatures slowly starting to rise, although our lows are finally getting up, creeping into those mid-60s. But the weather, the sunshine will not be coming into June, as we'll still see clouds leading up to the start of the month. And that does it for weather, your weather forecast for today. Now let's send it over to Garrett Brown with sports.
Thanks, Francisco. Well, Cal Poly baseball concluded their season this past weekend at UC Santa Barbara. After taking the first 2 games against the Gauchos, Cal Poly lost the series finale 7-0 last Saturday. Cal Poly only had 5 hits the entire game. The Mustangs shut out the Gauchos on Thursday 3-0 and held their blue-green rivals to just 2 hits. Friday's game was a nail-biter as the Mustangs squeezed by with a 4-3 win. Freshman designated hitter Conager Sands hit a 2-run home run to help out on Friday. This is the 3rd straight year where the Mustangs have finished second in the Big West Conference. Senior relief pitcher Michael Clark played his final game as a Mustang this past weekend. Kylie Smith caught up with him about his time at Cal Poly.
Michael Clark is wrapping up his career as a Mustang.
My 4 years have been a blast, the best years of my life for sure. And I don't know, it's just crazy to me that this will be the last time I play here this weekend.
0-2 pitch, swing and a nice strike 3. That's your ball game.
He started his senior season back in the bullpen.
Last night.
The change that I made from freshman to sophomore year was kind of like the biggest thing for me, just comfort-wise, confidence-wise, just everything like that. So it's been cool to watch over the 4 years, just kind of seeing all the different roles that I got put into, and just seeing how I reacted to them was definitely a learning curve for me, but I think it just definitely helped all around.
During this spring season, he recorded a 2.0 ERA and 48 strikeouts.
Yeah, I think just my perspective on the game, I think just knowing that this could be like my last time ever playing baseball, just every time I go out there trying to play like it's like my last time ever playing, and I think that's kind of helped me as far as like putting the team first and just trying to basically do whatever it takes to win.
He hopes to put the cherry on top of his senior season with a Big West title.
Like we hold our own fate. I mean, if we do what we have to do, then we should win the conference, and I think we have a good chance of doing that. I think that's the most important thing to me, is it would be awesome to go out on a high note.
Kylie Smith, Mustang News.
After last weekend's series, Clark ended his season with 32 appearances on the mound, recording a 2.61 ERA with a 6-3 record. He was one of 3 pitchers selected for the 2019 All-Big West Conference First Team. And that's all I have for sports. Now we're going to kick it back over to Emmy and Kylie at the news desk. So, guys, tough end of the season for baseball, huh?
I know. I really thought they would grab the title this year. They were so close.
Yeah, well, there's always next year for that. But Clark had quite the season, didn't he?
He really did. All 3 pitchers performed to their max this season for sure. They're losing 3 key players, all the seniors. But next year, we'll see what they got.
For sure.
Okay, coming up after the break, more on how Cal Poly student created her own pop-up speakeasy.
We'll be right back.
Hey! There are amazing things to discover in the forest.
Toothless, time to go! What you picking up on, bud?
It's a whole hidden world of wonders. And the perfect place to spend time with family. What better place to let your imagination soar? experience nature, and create a memory you can share. Visit discovertheforest.org to find a forest or park near you.
Patriotism. It inspires passionate debate. It's worn like a badge of honor with good reason, because it means love and devotion for one's country. But what really makes up this country of ours? It's the people. To love America is to love all Americans. This year, patriotism shouldn't just be about pride of country. It should be about love. Love beyond age, sexuality, disability, race, religion, and other labels. Because love has no labels.
Operation Wonder Park is a go!
There's nothing more powerful than imagination.
Honey, have you seen my cell phone?
But don't just imagine.
My park came to life?
Ooh, a plot twist.
Use STEM to build, create,
She did it.
and change the world.
Who's with me?
I'm more of a 2 feet on the ground kind of guy.
It's gonna hurt tomorrow.
If she can STEM, so can you. Find out more at She Can STEM.
Transportation and Parking Services proposes a potential increase in parking pass prices for the 2019 and 2020 school year. The increase could be as much as $10 per quarter. Commuter and residential permits would generate an estimated $87,000 revenue with this increase. Permits would be $660 per year if this proposal is approved. Changes would go into effect starting August 1st.
For many seniors, their senior project is their final compilation of their work at Cal Poly. One student recently created a project that was not as traditional. Senior Sawyer Kelsch created a pop-up speakeasy for her senior project at Seven Sisters, which included live jazz music by Cal Poly's jazz band and beer cocktails with local beers from Seven Sisters.
A speakeasy usually is where in the 1920s where they had the liquor or the Prohibition era where they banned liquor. They would do underground establishments and there'd be like underground parties and stuff like that people would buy alcohol at and basically have all these different parties. And so a lot of modern establishments are kind of going back to that, and they're usually like really elusive, really hard to find, with like a secret entrance and a back door kind of a thing. You kind of have to know about it to get in.
Kelsch wanted her to follow her passion of creative project management using both her industrial engineering and creative liberal arts skills.
Tomorrow night, ASI Events is hosting part 2 of their Spring Fever series. Gracie Vanderwall, the winner of the 11th season of America's Got Talent, will be playing in the University Union. The show is free and she is set to perform at 7 p.m. And that wraps up this episode of Mustang News. We're going to leave you with a song from the Cal Poly Jazz Band. I'm Emmy Powers.
And I'm Kylie Smith. Thank you for watching.